Imagine an insatiable thirst for art, not just any art, but the most exquisite masterpieces of all time. This was the obsession of Adolf Hitler. Brought to you the Cryptic Mystic Vault channel, let us delve into the mind of a failed painter who harbored a deep fascination for the arts. Hitler envisioned a new Rome, a cultural empire that would eclipse the grandeur of all that came before. This vision turned into a dark obsession, one that would come to haunt the world. His fixation was not limited to mere admiration. Hitler saw art as a symbol of cultural superiority, a tool to assert the dominance of the Aryan race. The Nazis systematically looted thousands of priceless artworks from museums, private collections, and Jewish homes across Europe. Their targets range from glorious masterpieces by Da Vinci and Rembrandt to invaluable artifacts of immense cultural importance. Here on Cryptic Mystic Vault, we take you through the grand-scale plundering operation that would span the entire European continent. The scale of Nazi looting was unprecedented, leaving no stone unturned. The Nazis, under the guise of war, embarked on a grand theft spree across Europe, stripping countries of their cultural wealth and identity. This was not just a robbery, it was a systematic erasure of cultures, an attempt to rewrite history in their favor. The plundering of the Eremitage in St. Petersburg, for instance, was a profound example of the Nazis' insatiable greed for art. This grand museum, housing a vast collection of world art, was stripped of countless masterpieces, leaving a void in Russia's cultural heart. The theft was not limited to public institutions. The Nazis also targeted private collections, particularly those owned by Jewish families. Works of art that had been passed down through generations were seized, their owners often left with nothing but memories of their once treasured possessions. National museums and private collections in occupied countries were also looted. Priceless works of art, historical artifacts, and cultural relics were stolen, leaving countries culturally impoverished. Museums that once stood proud as custodians of their nation's heritage were left bare, their collections pillaged. The Nazis didn't just steal any art, they stole the works of the masters. Imagine the audacity of pilfering masterpieces by Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and Rembrandt, the creme de la creme of the art world. These weren't merely acts of theft, they were acts of cultural erasure. Let's delve into the story of Leonardo's Madonna Lita, for instance. Once housed in the Hermitage Museum, this splendid artwork was whisked away by Nazi hands, its absence a gaping void in the annals of art history. The same fate befell Raphael's Portrait of a Young Man, looted from Poland's Czartoryski Museum. The painting, a symbol of the nation's cultural identity, remains lost. The theft of Rembrandt's Portrait of a Rabbi was a poignant irony. This masterpiece, owned by a Jewish family, became a casualty of the Nazis' brutal campaign. These masterpieces were hidden away in secret vaults hidden from the world. The loss of such treasures is a stark reminder of the cultural devastation inflicted by the Nazis. Returning stolen art to its rightful owner is not as simple as it seems. It's a statement that rings true, especially when it comes to the repatriation of the treasures plundered during the Nazi era. The process is riddled with a web of legal and ethical challenges that often prove to be as complex as the thefts themselves. Ownership disputes often arise as several parties may lay claim to a single piece of art. The descendants of the original owners, the current possessors who may have acquired these pieces unknowingly, and even governments of the countries from where the art was stolen, might all stake their claims. Museums and auction houses play a crucial role in this process, but their involvement is not without controversies. Many have been accused of turning a blind eye to the dubious provenance of the artworks they handle. However, these institutions also serve as the guardians of cultural heritage, often being the ones to identify and report suspicious pieces. Efforts to provide restitution to victims' families are ongoing, yet the process is slow and fraught with difficulty. It's not just about returning a stolen item, it's about restoring a piece of history, a piece of identity that was unjustly taken away. And sometimes it's about providing a sense of closure to the families who have been waiting for decades to reclaim what's rightfully theirs. The journey to repatriate these works of art continues to be fraught with challenges. But despite these obstacles, the pursuit of justice for the victims of Nazi looting remains a compelling cause worth fighting for. The ripples of the Nazi looting operation are still felt today. The art world, forever scarred, has been forced to grapple with the profound cultural loss and the complex process of restoring stolen artifacts. The victims, families robbed of their heritage, continue to live with the echoes of this grand theft. This dark chapter in history has shaped modern practices in the protection of cultural heritage during conflicts. A heightened awareness has led to more stringent laws and international agreements aimed at preventing such large-scale looting in the future. Yet, the recovery and repatriation of stolen art remain complex and fraught with challenges. Disputes over ownership, the role of museums and auction houses, and the quest for justice for the victims continue to spark heated debates. The legacy of Nazi looting is a poignant reminder of the importance of preserving and respecting cultural heritage. Even today, the shadow of Nazi looting looms large over the art world,